We've played a lot of good basketball this season, but we haven't got to that full 40 minutes, which we'll have to at some point, especially with the Big 12 looming. But again, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Just ask everybody to come out and support us in our next game. Obviously, today we're here in the old Coliseum. We don't like to get ahead of ourselves, but with this special game, we will talk about 2 games ahead. Now, this throwback game is something very, very special to me, to Coach Myers, who's here today. He will be available for any one-on-ones you want to do with Coach. My association with this building went back to when I was a kid. I came out here for Coach Myers' basketball camp, I think when I was around 8th grade, when I really started to fall in love with basketball. And Coach actually brought us in here. We didn't have any of the camp here, but we came in here as a tour. They took us around, they showed us the football stadium, and they came in here. It's just a magical place. You know, I got a personal relationship with a lot of the great players here. Bubba Jennings at the top of that list. Bubba's told me so many stories in this Coliseum and all the great basketball that came. Obviously, a lot of history here. Coach Myers was telling me earlier today about the first game ever played here. Coach Tex Winter, a basketball Hall of Fame coach, one of really the forefathers of our game, coached here in the opening game. All of us understand Glory Road and UTEP's national championship. I believe one of the regional games was played in this great building, so it's just a great historical place. When we were fortunate enough to get the job here a couple years ago, we had so many objectives. At the top of our list was to try to bring back all the former players. And you know, I don't care if you played for Coach Bass or Coach Myers or Coach Knight or Coach Dickey. We wanted to bring all the players back where you were a Texas Tech former player, not a player that had played for Coach Dickey or Coach Myers or Coach Knight or Coach Smith. This game last year was a big part of that. We had all sorts of former players come back, and it really rallied all the different generations of players. Now we look forward to the last basketball game ever played in this Coliseum will be Saturday at 6 o'clock. We're looking forward to so many of the former coaches and their families coming back. Former players are coming back. For one example of many, I know Tony Battie is coming back all the way from Florida to be a part of this game again, so we're just excited about bringing all the past players, all the different coaches and generations here to celebrate the past of this program one final time. Our opponent Saturday is an Abilene Christian team that's really good. They'll come in here, I think, 9-1. Obviously been in the top 25 poll all seasons. They're on the cusp of getting votes in the top 25 in the main poll. It's one of the best Abilene Christian teams in recent years. So we look to play a great opponent on a special night here at 6 o'clock in the old Coliseum. So I'll answer any questions you have about Wednesday's game or the throwback game Saturday. And then I'm just proud that my good friend Coach Myers is here today with me as well.
How much more sentimental do you think it's going to be this game, since it's going to be the last game here, and given your history of memories here as well?
Yeah, I know last year we kind of sold it as the last game, and because of the politics of the Texas Tech getting the arena from the city, we're fortunate enough to have a chance to play one more game. So it's my understanding that after this basketball game Saturday, the only thing that looms is one final rodeo in here in a couple of months, and then the building will be set to be dismissed. I hate that. I wish buildings like this would stay forever, but that's not my decision. But yeah, a lot of sentiment, a lot of emotions in this game, and it starts with just all the respect that we have for everybody that's played and competed in this arena, all the great coaches, all the former players. So I think it's a special night in Lubbock. I think everybody in this town has some type of memory with this Coliseum, whether you're a basketball fan or maybe not so much. I think this game's much more than a basketball game. It's one final time to come pay respect to everything that's happened in this building, basketball being one of those things.
What are some of the favorite memories that Coach Myers has told you about this place?
Me personally, just it always starts with the players, all the great players that played in this building, whether it be guys that I've been fortunate enough to have a relationship with, Dub Malise, whether it be the guys that I grew up kind of thinking legends, whether it be a Sasser, guys like Bubba that are friends of mine, Tony Benford, coaching peer of mine, and then certainly Coach Myers played here in his playing days, and they coached here, so just so many great memories of basketball. And then also just memories that aren't basketball, whether it be the rodeos. I know I've seen Will and Nelson play here, one of my icon heroes in music. Coach Adams was a part of the great years of hockey being in this arena. There's just so many cool things in this arena, Coliseum, basketball being one of them.
One of your players said about playing in here, I know they played last year, but just the final game, and they're going to get to play in it.
Yeah, it was a real honor for that team last year. Those guys took the honor seriously, almost to where I didn't think we played one of our best games because the event came a little bit bigger than the game, and I've got to do a better job this year coaching, especially since Abilene Christian is so good. We're the opponent, a team good enough to come in here and beat us if we're not on our A game. But it's just a special game. When you start seeing all the former players and coaches come into town, there's just a buzz around the program. We're going to bring our whole operation over here Thursday. We're going to practice here on Thursday. We're going to practice here on Friday. We're going to make this our home, away from home, and hopefully try to play better in this game this year than we did last year.
Looking at the team, there's a couple games before conference play begins that you guys have. What are you really looking to sharpen before conference play begins?
We're really looking for consistency. You know, like I said earlier, we've shown the ability to play good basketball on the offensive end. We've played some good defense this year. But like most teams around the country, we're just striving to be more consistent. 30 minutes of good basketball is not going to be good enough to win against an Abilene Christian, against a Duke, against any Big 12 opponent. So the biggest thing we're looking for with our team right now is just consistency.
Coach, with that consistency, how do you coach that in practice to push them to that 40 minutes? I mean, what is it to get them to that point?
You know, a lot of things. We try to make our practices really competitive this time of year. We're not just out there working on offense. We keep score. We play mini games. We play games within the games. We just try to make sure the guys understand how you have to value each possession as conference play nears. And then the same thing with defense. We want our guys to play defense in practice as well as with games. But a lot of things we do this time of year in practice, we try to make real competitive.
Seems like you've had a couple more extended breaks than usual at this point in the season. One game a week off. Is there any positives to that, and how do you keep the team sharp in between kind of weeks off without playing a game?
Yeah, from a coaching standpoint, I think that's the way we'd always want it. You know, coaches value practice. To me, some of the most important weeks is where you have a chance to have 3-4 back-to-back practices. This week's a great example. With final exams going on, we gave the guys a couple days off, and then we actually had a couple days to practice on us, not just the opponent. So we had 2 days to practice on our offense, our defense, cleaning some stuff up, supporting some stuff, validating some stuff that we believe in. Then we start getting into our next opponent, which this week is Northwestern State. And then we'll have Thursday and Friday to prepare for Abilene Christian.
How would you assess what the second unit has been able to do this year? I remember before the season started, you talked about how you're really striving to have like a six-man type of guy, but all these guys coming off the bench have really been performing well. How would you assess what they've been able to do this season so far?
Yeah, I think a big part of our identity this year is kind of strength in numbers. You know, we have a lot of confidence in the 9 or 10 guys we're playing right now in the rotation, as well as the guys that aren't getting time and minutes are continuing to improve. And a lot of those guys are right on the cusp of playing. So I've never thought we had a team that kind of had a starting 5 or second unit. We've got 9 or 10 players we trust. I'm really proud of Brandon Francis. He, as a senior and one of our top 5 players for sure, he's really bought into the 6-man role. This is one of many things that I learned from Coach Knight at my time, the value of having one of your best players come off the bench. I've said it before. Coach Knight would tell the stories about Havlicek, his college teammate that went on to play for Coach Arbach with the Celtics. At one point, he might have been the best player in the NBA, but he was coming off the bench for the Celtics because that's the value in a 6-man. And I think Brandon Francis, it's too early to know if this role will continue, but as of right now, Brandon leads our team in minutes played, but he's coming off the bench and has given us a great spark. And so I have a lot of confidence in that second unit guys. To me, they are starters.
How's Kayvon doing?
Yeah, just continuing to get better. His practice reps are increasing each day. He's actually played a little bit of full court in recent days. And so sometime right around the break, you know, we'll kind of make a decision with Kayvon whether it looks like he'll play in games this year or not.
There are some emotions and some sadness to see it going away, but we'll have great memories and fond memories of all the teams and outstanding games that we had in here.
Coach, just overall, when you kind of stand in here, I guess, what's the biggest memory you have of this?
Oh gosh, I don't know what the biggest memory. You know, one of the first and most unique memories I have was when I was named the coach. Bob Bass was the coach, I was assistant. He left early in January after we'd played one game, and I was named the interim coach, and we were playing Texas the next day. And I don't think it really hit me that I was the head coach until after practice on Friday, and everybody gone, and I was coming out late. It was probably about 7:30, and I got up that ramp and looked back, and all the main lights are off, just the house lights are on, and you could see the silhouette of this arena. And I think that was a great memory right there, to just realize anyway, it was just a great memory to realize I was the coach.
I guess you talk about the emotion of this place. What is it for you, and what does it mean to you? Because obviously, not just something Texas Tech basketball honors, but something you have a lot of connection with.
Well, this is where I spent most of my time coaching. I coached in high school 8 years, and Houston Baptist 3 years, and then I was here for nearly over 20 years as the coach. And you know, all those great players, those good teams, competitive teams. It was just a fun time. It was a great time. I think I never really looked at coaching as a job. I mean, I look forward to it every day, to coming to work, to getting a team ready, recruiting, whatever it was involved. And all of that took place right here in this building for me.
You clearly take a lot of pride in being the coach of Texas Tech. How much pride do you still have watching what Chris Beard is doing with this program now?
Well, you know, my wife gets on me every game. She says, "Be quiet, quit saying that." I said, "I didn't say that." She said, "Well, yeah, you did." Anyway, she's my best critic, but I'm still intense. I'm still involved. It's not a time for me to visit when I go to those games. It really doesn't, not just basketball, football, baseball, any game that Tech's playing. I'm pretty intense at the game. And sometimes I get worked up pretty good. After I was the athletic director, I was over at the arena, the United Supermarkets Arena, and I was sitting in my seat, and something was happening out on the court. It was at a game, and I hollered something out, and some elderly lady, she turned around and says, "You need to be quiet. You're not running things around here anymore." So I said, "Well, I better keep my mouth shut." Anyway, no, it's fun. I really enjoy watching our team. I go over and watch them practice a lot. I like the way Chris and his staff coach. They talk about, people say, "Well, you can't coach the way you used to." Well, they do. They do. They coach the way it's always been coached. But they make it fun, and they make it interesting for those players. But I really do enjoy watching practices and how they've developed this team, and the energy and enthusiasm that those coaches have that they bring out in those players every day at practice. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and watching them play the games, it's something that we really look forward to.